Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, I'm sure by now you have all heard about the hashtag WALKAWAY movement. If you haven't, check it out. I'll leave the link down below for Brendan Straka's original hashtag WALKAWAY video. Just a quick synopsis, just to lead up to why I'm doing this. He was a leftist. He's a gay dude, a hairdresser, gay hairdresser, living here in New York City, who had an awakening and started to see that the liberals weren't as liberal and tolerant as they like to paint themselves to be. I won't tell his story. You can watch his video if you want. But basically, he started this movement. He did his video. He posted it up to Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. It took a little bit of time before it gained some steam. But once it gained steam, that's it. It's gone viral at this point. And thousands of people have taken part in this hashtag WALKAWAY movement. On the Facebook page, on YouTube, wherever. I'm not on Facebook, so I am not part of the actual movement there, but I've been watching some of the videos online, and it's pretty inspiring, especially nowadays with how crazy the left actually is, how violent they are, how, you know, their meltdown, their collective meltdown, the Trump derangement syndrome, all that stuff. And it's a pretty important time in our life right now with the 2018 midterm elections upon us, you know, ICE and the border and all these illegals coming in, just everything that's going on. So it's kind of, well, it's kind of perfect timing. But it's also nice to see these people having this awakening and seeing the left for what they really are. And that's intolerant and socialists and all sorts of things. But so I wasn't originally going to do this because I was never a Democrat. And while I did at one point consider myself a liberal or a leftist, I had left the left about a decade ago. So let me start way back. As a kid, I was always pro-America. I've always loved America. I loved everything about it. You know, the flag, the freedoms, everything. But I wasn't into politics. You know, it wasn't my thing, especially as a kid. Out of high school, though, I joined the Marine Corps. And I served 4 years, and then I got out. I came back here to New York and I went to school. I went to art school, liberals, like a liberal art school. And so everybody here, everybody that I knew, I don't think I ever knew a Republican or anything like that, you know, in my early days. Everybody I knew was basically a liberal, a leftist of some sort, a Democrat. And so it just natural behavior. You know, again, I was very low informed on the subject of politics. I didn't care, to tell you the truth. I just wanted to live my life. So liberal, it sounds great, right? We're liberal. We're liberal, just like the word sounds. It's very newspeak-ish now when you think about it. And that's what they do. They use these words and they twist them around like progressive. But back then, at least to my unknowledgeable mind, they weren't as insane as they are now. But anyway, so I'm living in New York City. I consider myself a leftist. I didn't like neither the Clintons nor the Bushes. And yeah, so then 9/11 happened. I was living in Hell's Kitchen at the time. And right after 9/11, you know, America, everybody became all patriotic for a little while. Right after 9/11, the next year I moved to LA. I'm living in LA, I make some new friends, and I'm there for a little while. I end up coming back to New York. Now this is about 2007. I was here for a few months, and while I was here, a friend of mine from LA, he sent me some links to this guy, Ron Paul. Never heard of Ron Paul before. So, you know, I'm home, I'm watching these videos, this guy, this Republican guy speaking. And everything that he was saying made absolute sense. Things about money, things about the economy, you know, things about these wars for oil and all this kind of stuff. It all made sense to me. But I didn't understand because he's a Republican. And everything that I've known up until this point, Republicans were evil. They were racist, they just wanted all the money for themselves, they didn't want to help anybody. You know the story. So it wasn't computing like, how can I agree with this guy so much? Like almost everything he said was just like, yeah, that makes sense, I agree with that, yeah, absolutely, I see your point there. But you're a Republican and I'm not supposed to agree with you. So I started watching more and more of his videos. I ended up going back to LA, and when I got back there I started getting more into it, and I started meeting more people that were into this Ron Paul movement, and I started learning about libertarianism. I never knew what a libertarian was. And so we started going to like all these marches and the Fed rallies, early Tea Party rallies. I ended up seeing Ron Paul speaking a couple of times. I think the first time was at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. I ended up meeting Ron Paul. I'd film him at his events. And I just really got into Ron Paul. But at the same time, being that my identity before that had kind of revolved around being this leftist, it was a hard pill to swallow. Even though I was getting involved, I started calling myself a left libertarian. It was an easy balance for me, you know. It was kind of like a shift, but it was kind of holding on to my past. But over time, the more I actually got informed, the more I learned, I started dropping the left. The left part of the left libertarian. I just became sort of libertarian. And I stuck with that for a while. Ultimately, I moved back here to New York. And when I got back here, I tried to find more Ron Paul people, some libertarians, whatever. They were few and far between. And so I just kind of dropped the whole thing. I sort of became apolitical. All the people here that I knew were basically leftists, liberals, whatever. And I just went about my business, you know. I still liked Ron Paul, I was still into all that. But I was also kind of disenfranchised because even though I had voted for him both in 08 and 12, writing his name on the ballot and all that, you know, he wasn't president and we were stuck with Obama. So I just went about my life. And then the 2016 presidential election was upon us. And Donald Trump had, you know, announced he was running for president. And for now, you know, it was a big joke. But I liked what he was saying. I liked his America First policy, especially after 8 years of Obama, and seeing him like bow down to foreign leaders and apologize for America. I didn't like that. I didn't like any of that. How he was taking America towards this socialistic idea. Islam and open borders and illegals. So I gravitated right to Donald Trump. Make America great again, America first, build the wall. So I was on board right away. Donald Trump's the man. And here in New York, nobody seemed to really care because they all thought it was a joke. But then he clinches the nomination. And then people started to, you know, but they still considered him a joke, I suppose. Everybody just assumed Hillary was going to win. She was the anointed one, right? She was Queen Hillary, the Clinton legacy, the Obama's third term, all that stuff. So they kind of took it as a joke. Nobody was serious. But then, you know, all around the country, there's all these great rallies going on. I knew Trump was going to win. I even bet money on some online casino. I ended up winning like $400 for like 100 that I placed a bet on, but that's neither here nor there. So, so Trump wins. Boom, Trump's president. Now you can feel the tension in the air in New York City. Like, you can just feel it. And we all know what happens from there. As they say, the rest is history. The left had their collective meltdown, and it hasn't stopped yet. They've just gotten worse. They've gotten worse with their Trump derangement syndrome, the corporate media losing its mind with all the fake news, all the late night talk show hosts losing their mind with all their fake news. So we all know what's going on right now. That's why this movement is so great. That's why it was so inspiring that I wanted to join and be a part of the WALKAWAY movement. Another part of the WALKAWAY movement was for people on the right to kind of give their story and explain and welcome these new liberals, whether or not they decide to become Republicans or right-wingers or whatever, just to let them know that, hey, we're not as bad as the media likes to make us out to be, and our arms are open and you're welcome on our side. And it's so important right now with the 2018 midterm elections coming. Their blue wave that they were hoping for, we all know is right now it just looks like a little puddle of piss on the floor. So it's so important, though, that this movement's happening right now, and all these people are leaving the left. They're all walking away from the left, and hopefully you guys, you new people to our side, you people with your new awakening, seeing things clearer than ever before, hopefully you'll take that to the ballot box come November and not put these liberals, these leftists, these crazy socialists that want to abolish ICE and open the borders and flood the country with illegals, and that would cause all kinds of hardships for Americans and, you know, just all kinds of problems. So it's a very appropriate time for this movement to be going on, and it's really great that it's happening. So I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to add my story. It's New York City, you gotta forgive the sirens in the background. But I wanted to give my story, and I want to welcome whoever has walked away from the left, and know that you are welcome here, and you shouldn't be worried about it. You should know that there are tons of people like you out there who are also #walkingaway, and there are plenty of people here that are very happy and welcoming that you're seeing the light, so to speak. But that's about it. I don't want to go too long with this video. I just wanted to give a little breakdown of my story, my history, and again, welcome. Welcome to the right side. So if you like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to say, leave your comments down in the box below. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. And for now, that's all I got. #WalkAway movement. I'm out of here.